Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma friends, when we keep practicing vipassana, that will help us to get out of this dream or this the sleeping mind. So this sleeping mind is so strong than we think, and sometimes in that sleeping mind, the dreams that we see is not allow us to get out of it. But still, once you able to recognize it little by little, the reality that within our own life, and that is giving a kind of like a motivation to wake up. So that motivation is getting that motivation while we are sleeping is not easy, because we are already in the dream. But still there is a possibility. So that's why this practice, this 2600 years around the world, many teachers and sacrificed, they devoted their whole life and protect this. So somehow it is our time to see what we can get out of this. So when it comes to that, the very first thing that you have to remember, to develop a view rather than very narrow, this view, getting to a kind of like a bird view mentality. Because when it comes to the bird eye view, so the bird eye giving a complete the 360-degree view, and without kind of like having any kind of attachment to any point. So when you practice the vipassana also, you become like that. You're going to get this bird eye view regarding yourself and the world around you. And once you're able to get into that, it's kind of like the calling, it is kind of like a motivation yourself to wake up or get out of the dream. So because that view is important. So when it comes to breathing, when you are just observing the inhalation, exhalation, when it comes to breathing, just think a little bit. We don't use any tool. We don't use any kind of imagination. We don't use any kind of very expensive, that high class brand name to attain to enlightenment. We just use the breathing. When you look at the history of the breathing, so 3 billion years ago, there was no place in this earth to breathe like this. There was only this kind of like a one cell being in the beginning. So then little by little after, so from here to 600 millions ago, this the earth became this kind of place, and the animal start to develop their life and we able to breathe, because this ozone layer developed 600 millions ago. It after long process from this 3 billion years history. Imagine yourself, when it comes to this entire universe, this is the only place that we can breathe. Even it is very limited place, even far away, that whatever you see when you go outside at night, when you look at the stars, you can see it, but still there you cannot breathe. So this is only very limited place, and it is a very limited thing that we have. So when you inhale, within that inhalation, you inhale this 600 millions history. And you know, it is not only that, it came through many other living beings. So you became once you inhale, you become a part of that huge chain. And from there, once you exhale, you become a part of the next generations. So this is a kind of like you getting a, just not without becoming egocentric person, you getting a kind of like that bird eye view regarding even your inhalation exhalation. And the beauty is, as a human being, when that inhalation exhalation has the power to ignite your wisdom, to get into this entire the universal consciousness. That is the beauty. In the Vipassana, that is what you get. Only the human being has that power. That's why even the devas or the other the what kind of living beings, they cannot access to this. Only the human being has power through the breathing, access to the wisdom. That is what you practice. Otherwise, it is not a kind of like a, the dogma or the believings or any kind of like a mantra or any kind of, so kind of like the whatever the unusable something. No, this is the way that really it getting to the wisdom. So there is no any other way that you can get into the wisdom path. So then just when you observe the inhalation, exhalation, at least few minutes when you do it yourself, just be completely faithful to that. And develop the devotion, not about the Buddha or the teachings or the Sangha, or not like that. This, because in this in the Buddha's teaching, there is no way that converting somebody and going to get this teaching. No, it's not going to happen. This is not like that. It is not like we counting the heads and tell, okay, this group is better than this group. It's not like that. There was a time like that in the history, and still there are places like that. But when it comes to this teaching, it is just your own understanding. So then when you sit, have the devotion. And when in that devotion, you start to understand the things, the reality. That reality, suddenly you're not going to get out of anything. No, and you're not going to go against anything. You become more humble when you able to get into the truth. It like the mother go with the child to the beach, and the child creating a the sand castle. The mother know that, but still the mother has that love and that encourage the child to do it. And but the mother knows this is not real. And then the mother, she encouraged the child and then keep doing it, and then suddenly when it destroy, and sometimes mother that the show of like she's crying, but really inside the mother it is not the any sadness or the worry regarding the sand castle. So the she try to so empathize that sympathize the child, and but still that she knows through this that whatever happened, this child going to get understanding in the future. But in that very moment, the mother become kind of like the pretending like, she got so sad about that what happened, but she not really sad. So when it come to vipassana level, you also become like that regarding the world. And so that is how you deeply that develop your life. It is not otherwise you go against something or you becoming a different person or kind of like that. No, you become more humble person and you go deeply, and that deeper understanding is nothing to do with the other people even. And like that child cry because of the sand castle, maybe you also jump into that and you will cry. And so another thing is when you practice the vipassana, you become kind of like a janitor, the cleaner. They just clean whatever the dirt there. They don't complain about anything because they become a kind of, they are professional to clean. And they know what kind of things to use. And but for us, we don't know even and how to clean it. So can you become not about others? We are trying to become more professional to clean others. No, we cannot do that. Just try to clean yourself. Be your own janitor. Be your own clean, and then you know with what kind of detergents you have to use, what kind of soap or what kind of liquid you have to use. So be for yourself. That is vipassana. So like that, this is one of the beautiful art. It for entire humanity. It's nothing to do with the one group of people or one part or only one part of the world. It's nothing to do. So whatever you do, but at the deeper inside, you have deeply clarity and you have deeper wisdom regarding your that the, the being itself. So that is one day help for you to decide which direction you have to take. And once you have that confidence regarding yourself, who's going to get benefit? And yourself, and not only you, the other people around you. Everybody going to become happy and everybody going to become comfortable regarding yourself. If you able, just imagine yourself, rather than cleaning others' dirt, if you able to just maintain yourself and keep cleaning yourself, you becoming your own janitor. Do you know how it make comfortable for other people? So then yourself, you have responsibility. So even you are not bound to that responsibility. You are doing it as a part of, because in this conventional life, we have to go with it. That is it. Without that having any the resistance or without having any attachment, you go with it. So when you go in that path, remember in this path, it's a kind of like the obstacle or hindrance, it is there. It's a package. The with the clarity is the package of the obstacle or the hindrance. You're going to have the soul. Without this anything, you cannot get the wisdom. So the wisdom means you have to go with this obstacle and all the hindrance and aggregates. So, but the important thing is you don't resist it, you accept it. You accept it as your own responsibility to go through it. Then you know that quality not going to complain regarding anybody, and you take the responsibility. And then that becomes, remember, in this spiritual path, especially in the vipassana level of practice, that is where you develop your mind. Not kind of like a, fantasy, or not kind of like a finding the peace, or not kind of like a wisdom that only by yourself you going to recognize. No. So then that is why this vipassana meditation is one of the major thing that if the entire world can practice. But it's still yourself, it is your responsibility as a human being. Whatever you do, develop this, develop this. So when it comes to this path, in this obstacle, in these barriers, one of the big thing is the emotions. So our own emotions, desire-based, self-centered, the emotions. So when it comes to emotions, there are few things arise within us, and it giving a great challenge for us. But even though in the practice point of view, we give a name as telling it's a challenge. But when you really in practice, it is really help. Because this all the difficulties, all the emotions, all the hindrance help us. It's like the darkness help us to to bring the light. So the darkness help us to have the vividness. Otherwise, we cannot get it. So same like, always remember, whatever the difficulties come when you sit for meditation, whatever the difficulties come from inside, outside, take it as the part of the path. Not, don't try to push it away. Take it, accept it as the part of your path that you work towards the wisdom. So that way you balance it, and you get out of the resistance. Otherwise, then it's going to become something. So in that emotional path, there are few things. That one is the passion, self-centered, that the emotional based passion, and putting for the self-identity, bringing the self-identity. So that going to bring that going to create kind of like a hell sometimes, in day-to-day life, when people attach to this self-identity. And maybe through the name, through the position, and through the figure that itself, the body, and through the whatever the material things, passion, they bring on a self, they attach to self identity. That is one of the biggest barrier. But still, when you go with that, one day, if you able to understand it and release it, it going to help you to find the path. But one day, otherwise, that it going to show you how hard life is. And that day you're going to get into the path of this, the spiritual path, or the vipassana level of understanding. So sometimes the person to person, the journey is different. The length of the journey is different. Maybe some person go only 1 mile and understand it. and some person need to run 100 miles to understand it. So it person to person different. But anyway, just know yourself. The passion, the self-centered, the passion related with the self-identity is a kind of like a barrier that always they're putting us to a place to, it's kind of like a putting us to the box or the cage to hold us and not allow us to find the wisdom. So that is the first one. And other one is the aggression, that always that we develop a kind of like a aggressive nature. And it also come with the self-centered idea, and sometimes it come with the self-centered idea, and also sometimes it can come as a result of the believing without any kind of that the cause and effect or the right reasons, the aggressive mind. Another one is the ignorance, not knowingly reasons. Not knowingly reasons, it's kind of like a laziness. And we all, as I mentioned in the beginning, we all kind of like in a dream or the sleepy mood. So that sleeping mode sometimes keep us in ignorance, and it is a huge kind of a current. From sometimes it is stronger than you think. It come from the sansaric journey, maybe the society or the culture tradition put us to sleep, ignorance, and especially during this time period, all over the world, the politicians, the marketing world, pharmaceutical industry, so this economy, so this everything put people to sleep. They don't want to, at least in a conventional level, to understand something. They like if the people become ignorant. So see that itself, it become a barrier to ourselves. Our own society become a barrier. So that is one, it's kind of like but even though it is exists outside, there is something inside you, pull it and hold it like a magnet. So that is self-centered, that the self-based identity called the emotions. So that is one thing. Another thing is the pride. The pride also that it also come out of the self-centered view. And the self-centered view, the pride always have the the strong believing that that having a idea that somebody exists as I am. So that is help that ignite the pride. And once the person hold it to that, once the person addicted to having the pride, and it going to become very difficult for others. So that is that also the as a part of the emotion, this all come. It's like the emotion is the root, emotion is the big tree, and this all kind of like branches. And other one is the jealousy. So jealousy also kind of like emotions based. It's all come out of the thoughts. But this is sometimes this all not come at once. It come in a different mode. It kind of like that kind of like digital lights. And so maybe this everything not work at once, part by part it work and create the whole picture. So this the jealousy also, and the self-centered, and the have the fear to lose something, and because of that it always come as a emotion, react as a emotion. And other one is the doubt. So the doubt also in us create that whatever our ignorance hold us, that our ignorance inside us and keep us, and the doubt is come as the the protection to keep our ignorance. So those are the things when the emotions become high, those are the things that mostly as thoughts and they come out. This all self-centered and with the personal identity, this all happen inside our mind. So when you are in the wisdom path, when you practice with the mind, to get out of this and fighting with it, you cannot do it. So as example, when you have the doubt, so you have to use this all to get the best out of your own practice. Like when you have the doubt, you have to able to see, you have to have the doubt regarding the doubt, from where this doubt comes. So that way the doubt help you to go deeper inside this. So like that, where sometimes when deeply grilled, like uh, through the very hard rocks, sometimes to go this iron bar, it need the water. So some machines, they have some machines, they get the water from the ground and then use it to grill the iron. The same like the doubt, you have to use the doubt to grill the doubt itself and see from where it comes. So that is a wisdom. So you have the passion. You have to use that passion to see from where this passion comes. So it like investigation yourself, when once it become the passion yourself. So whatever the passion that you carry and as an emotion, it's going to become good. So as example, the jealousy. So once you have the jealousy regarding something or somebody regarding outside, you spend so much energy and time for that things. But how about the you use the jealousy to become jealous regarding your own jealousy, and then that way you use the same energy to destroy that same energy. And so another thing is the ignorance. So the ignorance is, that's why sometimes it say that once you know that you don't know, that is kind of like the wisdom you gain. So the ignorance is a kind of like rather than hiding it or rather than throwing it away, rather than that the resistance, that once you have the ignorance as a tool yourself to go deeper, practice every day, rather than thinking, oh, I'm done, I know this. So like that, sometimes when I give the the introduction every day, sometimes you already say, you're in your mind, oh, I know that, oh, I know that, oh, next going to be this, next going to be this, like that. See, that is the barrier of the ignorance come to you, not listening. As the everyday kind of like in Zen meditation say, keep the beginner's mind. So it happened all the time. So that's why I know it is happening in your mind. So another thing is that the aggressive nature, and sometimes when you practice, rather than going with something, and how about you within your own mind you use it. So like that, everything how you can use as a important source for your own practice is, there is one thing. So that is devotion. Devotion has ability, this all kind of emotions, to convert it to your own practice. So that is the important. So then you have to be very clear with the devotion that you have regarding the practice, and knowingly how beautiful this practice. Once you have that clear devotion regarding it, then remember this, all the part of these emotions start to help for you day by day, day by day, day by day. And that is where your practice is going to become more successful. In that success, and you're going to recognize this, everything is within you. So there were one tiger and lion. They were friends for a long time, and they used to live in a place where next to the mountain, and and they saw there was a monk also meditating next to them, and but no disturbances. So somehow, once the one day when the full moon arises, this tiger and lion had a conversation. So what is the conversation? The lion told, look, when the full moon comes, the 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 nature become cold. When the full moon start, it's going to become cold. Then the tiger told, no, no, no. When the new moon come, that the nature become cold. So they start to have this argument, and then they get into fight and arguing, and they couldn't find a solution. One say the full moon come, this become cold, and the new moon come, this become cold. So then they told, okay, let's go to the monk and ask this. And both went to the monk and asked. So the monk saw this both having the argument, even the sweating themselves. And then the monk asked, so in this moment, what do you feel? Cold or anything else? So then the both start to tell, no, I feel heat. And the tiger also told, I feel heat. I don't feel cold now. So then the monk told, it is not the full moon or the new moon. The wind bring the cold. So the tiger and the lion didn't agree for that. And the monk told, so you go a little bit and sit down and don't do anything. Just start start to see it. And the both agreed and went. And then they closed their eyes and start to feel the wind. So when from the high mountains, when the winds come and they feel the cold, and when the valley area, when the wind come, they feel the hot. So like that they start to recognize not what we see bring the feelings mostly. Our feelings itself bring the feelings inside us. So that is the beauty of the Vipassana. So not what you see from outside, or not what you hear from outside, not what you smell from outside, not what you taste from outside, not what you get the sensation from outside, not what you get the thoughts from outside. There is a way that you are inside have the waves, inside have the winds, to bring all the feelings. That is our own mental formations. When the day, if you able to recognize that, that is the day you get out of this samsara. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava ettavataca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme punya kammang asavakkayāvaṃ hotu sabba dukkha pamuncchatu. Bless you.